Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about how you can add emotion into your singing voice. And this is through a technique called dynamics. So in music, dynamics is a variation of volume throughout a musical piece. For example, if a piece of music gets louder throughout the piece, that would be a significant change in dynamics. However, in singing, there's a little bit more to dynamics than just volume. Of course, we can change the volume of our singing voice. We can sing loud and we can sing quietly, but we can also change the tonal quality of our singing voice. For example, you can have a very breathy sound like ha, or a pressier sound like ah, without changing volume much. But this still conveys a change in dynamics and definitely a change in the emotions that are going to come through your voice. For example, when you're singing a song that's super angry, you're going to have way different dynamics than when you're singing a song that's really sad. So let's break this down for the different registers of your voice. Let's start with your high register or your head voice. Your head voice is known for being super soft and breathy. However, we can still change the dynamics within our head voice. One way we can do this is with our pronunciation. So are you hitting your consonants super hard, or are your consonants pretty soft? Are you elongating your vowels, or are they pretty closed off and short? Also, how much breath are you moving through your head voice? Is it super breathy and vulnerable sounding, or is it more strong like a classical or opera sound? All of these things affect your dynamics. I'm going to show you one of my favorite dynamics exercises. This one can be done all throughout your range, but for now, let's do it in our head voice so that we can practice these things. It's kind of silly, but it's pretty fun. It's on a basic major scale. We're just going to go through the first 5 notes. And we're going to say, my mom made me mash my M&Ms. I'm mad. And this is what it sounds like. My mom made me mash my M&Ms. I'm mad. Okay, so we're going to start off by doing this with mad, and I want you to close off your vowels. Okay, so not a ton of really long notes. We're going to make our consonants punchy. We're going to kind of spit our words, okay? And we're also going to keep the breathiness to a minimum because we don't want to feel vulnerable. We want to feel mad, right? So this is what it's going to sound like. My mom made me mash my M&Ms. I'm mad. My mom made me mash my M&Ms. I'm mad. Now we're going to do the same exercise, but we're going to change it from mad to sad. So we can have less punchy consonants, more open vowels, and a lot more breathiness. This is going to come across way more sad than mad. My mom made me mash my M&Ms. I'm sad. My mom made me mash my M&Ms. I'm sad. Okay, so completely different dynamics when we're doing that with a mad tone versus sad. Adjusting the amount of air that you exhale through a note has a massive impact on the dynamics. Adding that extra breath in can give us kind of a sensual feeling. It can give us kind of a tired or relaxed feeling, and it can definitely convey sadness as well. I do want to note that using a ton of breath on really loud notes is dangerous for your vocal folds. So breathiness is something that we can add in mostly on our quieter notes. Now let's talk about legato versus staccato. So legato explains smooth, long notes that flow into each other. Ha. Whereas staccato is short, sharp notes that remain detached. Ah, 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 ah. So you can definitely decide if you want your notes to really flow into each other or if you want them to be more staccato in order to get a different vibe. A great example of staccato singing is Michael Jackson. He really separates a lot of his notes, which gives his vocal lines a really rhythmic feel. It's a brilliant use of dynamics, and I encourage you to go watch one of his performances or listen to a song and see if you can hear it. The chest register is definitely known for more loud and belty notes. However, we can still do tons for our dynamics within our chest register. Again, we can adjust our consonants to be hard or soft consonants, and we can adjust our vowels to be long and open or short and closed. We can also decide if our notes are legato or staccato within our chest voice. Let's do our M&Ms exercise again, but in that lower chest range. Let's start with mad, and we're gonna do it pretty staccato, so separated notes. My mom made me mash my M&Ms, I'm mad. My mom made me mash my M&Ms, I'm mad. Now let's switch to sad, but still in our chest voice. My mom made me mash my M&Ms, I'm sad. My mom made me mash my M&Ms, I'm sad. You can see how a completely different emotion comes through the voice just based off the different choices we make with our dynamics. I also want to mention the powerful emotions that can come through when we use our belting voice. Belting is something that we can do both in our chest register in the low range or in our mixed tone, which is higher range belting, and it definitely conveys some urgency and gets across those bigger, more intense emotions like anger, fear, or desperation, or love. Belting includes a lot of breath support, so go back and watch how singers should breathe in order to figure out how you can add that proper breath support into your belting voice. My mom made me mash my M&Ms, I'm mad. Here are some of my favorite exercises to practice your dynamics. The first one is swells. Swells are so much harder than they seem. I encourage you to try this. We're just gonna hold a single note and we're gonna swell from a low volume to a louder sound. The hardest part about swells is doing them gradually, so the slower that you can make your way to your most powerful sound, the better. Another exercise that you can do to practice your dynamics in your voice is scoops. We're gonna do our scoops today just going up to the 5th note in the scale. Let's use a nice and easy open vowel like ah, starting off very quiet and breathy and transitioning into a more pressy and projected tone. We're going to go back down, starting quiet and getting louder. Starting nice and quiet. And quiet again on the top. Again, the more gradual of a transition between volume and intensity is going to give you more control over your dynamic range. So next time that you go to sing a song that has a lot of emotion, try to identify what emotion that you're singing through, first of all, and then which of these dynamic techniques that you can use to help that emotion come through more clearly. Thanks for watching. I'm Karen, and this is KClay Music, and I'll see you in the next video.